Quentin Johnston still looking like a baller. Scott Matlock shotgunning energy drinks before practice. And Justin Herbert on the Pat McAfee show. All of this and more on the Chargers' first day of training camp in pads. Man, we got a lot to cover today. Not a lot of videos from practice, but still a lot to talk about. So while I pull up all of this stuff, make sure to like the video because we're about to bolt the fuck up in here. So Brandon Staley said after practice that the main goal today was one-on-one drills that basically were focused in the red zone, and also the overall emphasis for training camp this year is on tackling. And I feel like the Chargers every year, they don't have very good tackling. So if Brandon Staley can fix it, you know, by all means, go ahead. I would love that. First play that we got here is Keenan Allen against Mark Webb in a one-on-one rep in the red zone. And check this out. Boom, little stutter step, gets right into the end zone for a touchdown. Now I'm going to play this slowly for you, and you can see that as Keenan Allen right here, as he stops, plants that foot to stutter and hesitate, Mark Webb still has not reacted to it, and then about a step later, bang, he reacts to it, and he stops his feet. And by the time that he does that, Keenan Allen is already bursting through and past him into the end zone, catching that touchdown. Beautifully placed by Justin Herbert. But Keenan Allen had like 2 yards of separation because that is how good of a route runner he is. And Mark Webb is learning from the best of them right now. Now we have a one-on-one rep in the end zone. Quentin Johnston this time against Jamaree Taylor. Now check this out. Little stutter step and then boom. Mosses Jamaree Taylor. And if I just play this back for you, watch Quentin Johnston on this get off. He goes fakes to the inside, boom, plants that foot, goes to the outside, and Jamaree Taylor, he had his hands on him, but Quentin Johnston is so big and so strong that he just runs right past him, and Ja ends up getting that hand up. You can see right arm fully extended way up there. Quentin Johnston is way too tall. He's going to catch that, getting mossed. Jamaree Taylor can't do anything against Quentin Johnston on that play. Man, I'm so excited for Quentin Johnston, bro. But speaking of Quentin Johnston, let's come back to earth a little bit. There's this tweet from Tyler Shoon. He had 4 drops today. 4. But listen, Quentin Johnston, he struggled with catches over the middle in college because he tends to protect himself more often and body catch rather than opening himself up for a hit and, you know, leaving his arms out like that, getting vulnerable for a hit to the side by a linebacker who's like 250 pounds and just smacking him up. But Keenan is actually really good at body catching over the middle. How many times this past season have we been in a 3rd and 2, 4th and 1 situation like that, and we just see Justin Herbert locking eyes with Keenan Allen on a little hitch route up the middle, and Keenan just catches it, boom, first down, easy. If Keenan Allen can teach Quentin Johnston how to protect himself over the middle and body catch while actually catching the ball and not dropping it, then there would be no faults in Quentin Johnston's game as of right now. Now, here's some more mad news coming out of training camp today. Foster Sarrell is at right tackle because Trey Pipkins is not playing today. It is the first day in pads, so maybe they're just like, you know, let's try not to aggravate anything or worsen this injury. Don't know exactly what the injury to Trey Pipkins is, but I would like to see him out there and start and have a healthy season this year because he just trained with Duke Manyweather, who trained guys like Rashawn, Slater to be as good as they are. And Foster Sarrell actually did not have a terrible day at practice today. That's what the reports are. I wasn't there, and there wasn't a ton of video, so I can't prove it. But reports are that he played pretty well, although I would still like to see Trey Pipkins start basically no matter what. Speaking of the lineman, Jordan McFadden, the guy we just drafted out of Clemson, he's got some versatility to his game, and the coaches are trying him out at left guard and right guard. He's going to be the swing backup guard, so he's going to have to play on both positions in case of an emergency. And John Hightower, man, we don't have any footage of it yet, but he had 2 touchdowns today, and he is just playing so well in training camp. I was not expecting this at all. John Hightower was one of those guys that I was like, yeah, just a name for camp and a body to give some of these other guys rest because this receiver room was already pretty strong. But all of a sudden, John Hightower is making a name for himself. Man, I can't wait for preseason, bro. I just cannot wait. And then we got this tweet. Tuli Tuipulotu had a pressure off of the edge today, according to Tyler Shoon. He's got excellent bend for a young guy. He absolutely does. I was watching this guy all year last season at USC. He's got really good bend. That's actually his strongest asset. And he didn't catch who was blocking him. I would imagine that it was somebody on the second unit of the offensive line, because I don't think Tuli would be getting first team reps because they want all those reps to go to Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. Got another Tyler Shoon tweet. Make sure to follow him if you don't already. But here's what he had to say. The running defense actually played much better than the running offense today, other than 2 plays that were 20-yard runs from Austin Ekeler and Tyler Hoosman. Watch out for Tyler Hoosman, man. I told you, I made that video about Tyler Hoosman and how I think he's going to really ball out in the preseason, just like Austin Ekeler did. But you know what? I don't know how I want to look at this, because on one hand, the rushing offense, they struggled against this defense, but then on the other hand, it's like, well, the defense, they played pretty well against a guy like Austin Ekeler and this offensive line, who by all means we think is going to be really good this season. So little give and take. I hope at least that there was a lot of good on both sides, which I'm sure there was. Now we got some updates from the tight ends and fullbacks. Donald Parham is basically the vertical up the seam guy. Gerald Everett, short yards after catch guy. That's about what I would have expected. But Zander Horvath is not getting mixed in much, according to Tyler Shoon. That could be a pretty bad sign, because there are a lot of running backs that are fighting for a roster spot on this squad right now. And like I just said, I think Tyler Hoosman is really going to cause a lot of uproar in this backfield, and Austin Ekeler is going to be on the team. You got guys like Josh Kelly, Larry Roundtree. You got Isaiah Spiller too, who you just drafted. How many running backs can we genuinely keep on this team? Now let's get off of Twitter and go to the official Chargers website, where we see that J.C. Jackson and Joshua Palmer had 2 reps of one-on-ones in the end zone. Palmer got a touchdown on the first one, but then J.C. Jackson ended up winning the rep on the next time out. And then also Mike Williams and Quentin Johnston showed off their athleticism with big leaping touchdowns in the back corner of the end zone. And then the first real day of practice for the guys in the trench, Rashawn Slater and Khalil Mack were even on the first rep, and then Rashawn Slater won the next rep against Khalil Mack. You'll love to see that. Slater and then got a draw against Joey Bosa, and then Joey Bosa ended up beating him in the second rep. But then also Sebastian Joseph Day and Jamaree Salyer going at it, and Zion Johnson won 2 out of his 3 reps. And defensively, Nick Williams had a really good day on one-on-one drills as well. So watch out for Nick Williams. Now let's talk about these DBs. Deane Leonard on Saturday. Here's this clip right here. John Hightower had a catch against him and made Deane Leonard look like a goofball on the field. But today, first day in pads, Deane Leonard had back-to-back pass deflections, and then in full team drills, he denied Quentin Johnston a deep pass. So that is 3 pass breakups for Deane Leonard, really stepping up today. And then also Asante Samuel Jr. caught another interception, this time at the goal line, and Jasir Taylor had 3 incompletions on 3 straight plays that came his way in the end zone in full team drills, 11 on 11s. That is a very, very good sign. And these 2 guys are going to be battling it out all camp. And that's going to be something that you need to watch for in those preseason games, because Jasir Taylor is probably going to start. But then once Asante Samuel Jr. comes out there, hey, it may be wrapped, because Asante, he better not be riding the bench this season. That's all I'm going to say. He's too good. And then last but not least, Justin Herbert was on the Pat McAfee show today after practice, and I cut out a little segment from it, and this is what he had to say about potentially being on a Netflix documentary like Quarterback, or being on something else like HBO or NFL Films. Check this out.
I don't think doing interviews and doing media is necessarily like one of your favorite things to do, but Netflix is Quarterback. A lot of reports coming out that, they wanted you. Is that something you'd ever entertain, or is that too much of a distraction and all you care about is football?
I think that's similar to the Hard Knocks that we had in 2020. That was my first NFL season, and kind of getting used to Hard Knocks was a little challenging, but it was a lot of fun, and being able to go through that and watch it afterwards, that was pretty cool. And I haven't seen this Netflix documentary yet. If you let it be a distraction, it can be a distraction, but if you're focused and you stay dialed in, you know what's most important, so it probably wouldn't be too much of an issue.
You're doing it.
Here we go.
Well, no, was that a question? No, I'm unaware of anything going on in season 2.
Boom. You are all caught up. Unless you did not see my last video, which is right here, and you can go see that. A lot more clips from these guys in training camp in this video right here. But thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to like the video and bolt up while you're at it. And I'll see you guys next time.